welcome back to the channel. And it seems that not everyone on Booktube has forgotten I exist. Since I've withdrawn, I've not really been around as much to see whether or not people have reached out to me as I would have before, but I have been tagged in a tag. That was really nice to see. Jess over at JessBookgirlTV did tag me, and please go over to her channel and check it out. She's really genuine with her reading habits and her reading choices. She just does her, and she hasn't hit 1,000 subscribers yet. I think she's just under 900. So if you could go over there and give her a follow, give her a like on a video, subscribe, whatever you can do to help her out. She's been on Booktube for a decent amount of time, a little bit longer than I have, and I would love to see her get to 1,000 subscribers. But this tag is the Bookaholics Anonymous Tag. This is all about kind of like book buying habits and things like that, and what you do around your book buying. It has 10 prompts. So the first of those is, what do you like about buying new books? For me personally, buying new books means buying physical books. And what I really love about doing that is it's the possibilities. It's taking it, placing it on a shelf, being able to see it there from one day to the next and know that you have the option to go to that book, that it's there waiting for you, that there's like adventures inside it that you'll be able to get to. It's the possibilities for me personally. Number two, how often do you buy new books? Now, if you follow my channel since the early days, you'll know that I was buying books probably more than once a week. A couple of times a week, I would, I was actively out there looking for books. I think that all changed when I hit probably around 500 books. I got to a point where I had like 500 books on the shelf, 200 of which weren't read yet. And I think that's when my book buying slowed down. Currently, I'm at the stage where I probably buy at most one book a month, because I've got almost all the books that I'm waiting to read on my shelf. I don't have that many that I'm waiting to get, so my book buying has definitely slowed down. I don't do haul videos anymore. I used to do those quite regularly in the first 2.5 to 3 years of the channel, but this last year I've really slowed that down. Shelf space is a premium when you've only got like half a shelf left, or maybe you're on your last bookcase and you're starting to see it fill up. You're going to slow down your book buying, I think, unless, and I don't judge these people, but obviously some of us have piles of books all over the house. I could see myself getting into that state. That's why I slowed my book buying down. Bookstore or online purchasing? For me, it's bookstore. It's not that I have never bought books online, or like a birthday comes up and you add a book to your wish list, or maybe you pre-order a book online. I'm not against online buying books, but I love to buy in a bookstore. I love to browse. I love to look at what editions they've got in, what reprints they are, just the different art styles, the different covers as they change over the years, as they get reprinted. It's all really, really interesting stuff. I love to see it, books out in the wild. Yeah, so I would say always a bookstore if I can. Favorite bookshop? Unfortunately, a lot of the good used bookstores or just bookstores generally in my area have closed down. One good one I know, it's a bit of a trek south for me, down to Alton, which is probably about just under an hour away from me. There's Alton Secondhand Books. The lady that runs that shop is really, really nice. She's very knowledgeable. You have a really good selection of used books there, and anytime I've gone in there, I've always managed to pick something fun up. So yeah, that's what I would say is probably my favorite bookstore currently. Do I pre-order books? So this is prompt 5. Yes, I put books on pre-order when they are ones that are part of like a series that I'm collecting. So I've pre-ordered stuff from Bernard Cornwell before. I've pre-ordered stuff by Stephen King before, and a few others as well. So yeah, if it's part of a series or an author that I am trying to get their books because I'm doing like a reading event or something, then yeah, I often will pre-order those. So a handful each year, I would say, 3, 4, 5 maybe. Not massive into pre-ordering books, but I will put those in there so I can make sure I've got a copy of the hard copy at a reasonable price early. Do I have a monthly book buying limit? Definitely not. I used to buy, 20, 30 books a month. It was definitely out of control. These days, it's based on shelf space. I don't have a hard limit. If I wanted to buy a book, I'll just buy it. But I probably only buy about 1, maybe 2 books a month now, just to make sure the shelves don't get overstocked. There aren't too many left out there for me to get. Book buying bans, are they for you? I haven't imposed a book buying ban, but I've definitely slowed my book buying down. I know there's the read what you own challenges out there. The issue I have with those is, if you follow the channel for any length of time, I probably always have like 8 to 12 series on the go, and it's hard to own every book in a series. Some of these book series have like 20, 40 books in them, stuff like that. So there are always going to be books that I need for reading events that mean if I was on a read what you own challenge, I'd have to stop reading a particular series for a year or something, which is counterproductive. That's the only reason I haven't taken part in those events. I think they're a really good idea. I just have never needed to or wanted to take part in them so far. How big is my wish list? It's about 30 books. There's about 30 books that I need to pick up. Most of those because they're parts of a series, or they're books that have made it. I started a 50 books to read before you're 50, and more than 50 books ended up on that list. And I realized, I'm going to get that 50 books to read before I'm 50 done, but there's probably a 60 books to read before I'm 60 going to follow it, because there was over 100 books on that list, and there's about 30 of those left that I need to buy. So there's about 30 books on the list. Which 3 books on that list do you wish you owned now? I couldn't really remember what was on that list, but I'm pretty sure that list contained these 3 books. The Terror by Dan Simmons has been, recommended to me previously on Booktube, and I don't own that yet. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Casey, or is it Kesey? I can never remember. Yeah, that's been recommended to me before. I do not own that. That's a bit of a classic, so yeah, I'd probably look to pick that up. And The Regulators by Stephen King. It's one of the few Stephen King books I don't own. It's The Regulators. I need to grab a copy of that. So if I see it in the wild, I'll pick it up. I don't need to read it this year or next year, so it's not like imminent read for me on Stephen King, my kind of Stephen King reading order. But I know in a few years' time it is up to bat, so I will look out for The Regulators as well. And prompt 10 is, who are you going to tag? So first of all, always need to, I need to tag my brother Duncan, Back Away From the Donkey, BAFTA Books. So if you haven't checked his channel out, he's really, really fantastic. Again, very super genuine about his likes and dislikes. He released a video, this was back in December now, I think, where he did his top 10 most hated reads of 2025. Really, really interesting. There's some really highly regarded books in there as well. So he's a really fun channel. So yeah, Duncan, you are tagged. I'm going to tag Julie over at Bookishtravels. Again, this is like her second channel now, Julie, and yeah, she's doing really, really well with her new channel. Videos getting lots of views, but yeah, always good to kind of get more traffic to your channel if you can. And then third, I'm going to go with Justin at Triumphal Reads. Justin has a really unique channel where he covers a lot of like history and science and kind of etymology and all sorts of interesting non-fiction reads. So if you like your non-fiction, please go over and check his channel out as well. Justin, you're also tagged. If you guys have already been tagged, apologies. Because I've only been watching your channel sporadically, it's hard to know whether or not you were tagged with this. I know it is a bit of an older tag. I cannot tag the person that created it because I could not find out who that was. This has been doing the rounds for a couple of years now, so I couldn't quite find who it was, but it is a good tag, so I hope you guys get a chance to do it. And I'll catch you all in the next video.